Welcome back. It is 1557, if you can believe that. In the last one, we had Nicholas have his first taste of heartbreak, and Katerina immediately move in on his man. Florence became a teenager, Alice became a child, Juliana finished her toddler skills, Gabriel got closer to the future Queen Elizabeth, Lawrence lost his title and his engagement. So, Anne Light is going to age up today. She has to get a 3 or an 18 to die, which she did not get. And then Tobias, unfortunately, is passing away. So we need to figure out who we're going to marry Anne to. Anne has 9 baby tries. I don't think we're going to ever have Olivia get remarried. Okay, Anne has 9 baby tries. That's a lot. All these people are indeed younger than her. I wonder if we should just wait. Next year, a lot of people are aging up into young adults and getting ready to get married. Let's see, Elizabeth, Amos, Isaac. Wait, where is Katarina? Where? Okay, well, you know what? This always happens to me every single time. Okay, Katarina, where are you and when are you aging up? Okay, where was she? Martha, Elizabeth. Okay, Katarina Larkin, 1, 2, 3. It's been 3 years. 4, 5, 6, 7. So she'll be aging up here. She was the only one that year, so I guess. Yeah, I see people on either side of her. Let's see, Katarina, and then Nicholas is right there. Yeah, okay, so anyway, wish. Okay. Hide Rose. Okay. Katarina will be aging up a little bit, but okay, Anne, Gareth, Isaac, Amos, Elizabeth. So yeah, there's 3 guys that are aging up into young adults next year. I think we could marry one of them to Anne instead. So I think that'll be good. Yeah, we'll just wait on her until next year. All right. Sounds good. Anything else going on this year? 1557. Casper is dying. Oh, that's too bad. Actually, Casper's not on here, right? But his wife should be. Who was she? Did I, like, just remove her from everything? Hold on. Casper. Yeah, Felice. Where's Felice? Oh my gosh, I am so bad at this spreadsheet thing. Guess I'm gonna expand it again. Let's just search for her. Felice. That was not the right Felice. Okay, Felice. Yeah, here she is. Here she was again. There she was again. So she should be. Oh, there she is. Okay, so I did not actually mess her up. So go me. She just isn't dying for a long time. That's unfortunate because her husband is. They have a child together now. I just kind of let neighborhood stories take care of them. Okay. So Casper is passing away. We have Anchor becoming a child. That looks like it is about it for the townies. So yeah. Okay. Let's hop into the game. Okay, so here we are in our household, and we are actually going to start just by checking everyone's aspirations and their jobs and making sure they're all kind of on track. I did give Florence the master actor aspiration. Obviously, there's not much she can do as a teen, but we can get her skill up a little bit. And then I just wanted to have Gabriel actually call over Tobias because he knows that his son is struggling. He knows his children really well, and while he isn't trying to push them into one thing or another, he would never force Nicholas to kind of expose his relationship with Isaac to him. He still like recognizes that there is some guidance that Nicholas needs that he might not be able to provide. So he calls over Tobias to kind of have this conversation with Nicholas and about, what his life could look like as a man who would potentially be with another man or anything like that. And the fact is that it's just hard during this time period. I mean, Nicholas has a lot of advantages, having a lot of money and having the support of his family and everything, but also, like, you have to keep in mind that he also has expectations on him to, continue his line and all of that kind of stuff. So Tobias is basically telling him about what it's like, about having, to kind of hide who you are, that Tobias found someone who was willing to kind of, play the role of his wife. They both did whatever they wanted. And, a lot of straight marriages are like that too, where they get married not out of love and then they just have to, they both do whatever they want. And so Tobias was just kind of giving Nicholas some advice and really wanting him to know that, it's not always easy, but it can be really worth it to be with someone that you love. And so just kind of, accepting that part of yourself, and that if Nicholas really feels strongly about his relationship with Isaac, we know he's bisexual, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that he'd end up with a woman or, however it goes, but just, that he kind of feels like he can make whatever choice is right for him regardless of societal expectations. So I think Nicholas is feeling a lot better after talking to Tobias, who has gone through that kind of thing. And keep in mind too, is like Nicholas, like, he really likes Isaac a lot, but like Isaac hasn't been really great to him, so I don't know, we want them to end up together anyway. So meanwhile, Elizabeth comes over to talk to Katerina again. They're best friends. They're always like chatting about boys and this and that and the other thing. And so Elizabeth actually tells Katerina that Amos has proposed to her. They've been together for quite some time now, and Amos has now proposed, and Katerina is shocked. She's shook. She is not happy that she is not the one who is going to be able to, be in this relationship with someone who is so, like, societally high up and all of that stuff, and she is not really happy for Elizabeth. It's tough because they are best friends, but Katerina always wants the best for herself. Like, she is, I'm kind of interpreting the kleptomaniac trait in her as kind of her wanting to, like, not necessarily like take things from other people, but like, she doesn't feel good that she doesn't, she's greedy and she wants more, and she gets jealous. She's envious of that, other people get to have things that she wants. And so she wants them, So she is definitely not happy about that whole situation. And also, I know that I didn't have them talk for long enough, but yeah, she also, like, I think that part of her was like, feeling kind of bitter and saying to Elizabeth, well, both his father and his grandfather both cheated on their wives. They have a long history of infidelity, and are you sure that he's a good man to marry? And just kind of maybe trying to find the negatives in the situation, despite the fact that, Elizabeth is very happy with the situation she's in. And so that's tough. So anyway, the whole family is just hanging out, having some chill time, and just, spending time together. And then we are actually going to have Sibley and Florence get together here and also drag along Nicholas, because Florence, is aware of her friend's issues, is aware of the problems that she's having with her family. And so Florence has kind of cooked up an idea that involves Nicholas that might be able to help everyone out. So they're going to come over here and talk and everything. And basically Florence is going to talk to Sibley, and Sibley is going to tell her, like, that, at least tell Florence in private, Nicholas, if you could just give them some space, that, she needs to get away from her family. She's worried that, her sister and her brother-in-law are going to, use their psychic powers for some bad stuff. She's worried about, her brother and Molly. She's worried about a lot of stuff, and she is starting to get nervous for herself because she doesn't want to kind of be exploited or anything else. And so she's talking to Florence about that, and then Florence comes up with this idea, and she kind of pulls Nicholas into the conversation to have this idea, and Florence basically says, well, why don't you and Nicholas get engaged? And Nicholas is like, what? And Florence and Sibley is also confused. But like she basically says to them, well, why don't you come up with some kind of like, temporary engagement so that Sibley can potentially get out of her house and get away from, her family and, be able to be protected by our family. But it's not like she can just move into their house for no reason. So if she was engaged to Nicholas, they could kind of take some ownership over her well-being, and they can always break up later, and she can, they can both go their separate ways. But for now, that could be a good way to protect Sibley from anything that's going on with her family. And Florence is an out of the box thinker. She's erratic, but Nicholas is kind of very hesitant about this because he doesn't know what he wants romantically, and he knows that even if it's only a temporary engagement, that it could potentially have societal consequences on both of their reputations and everything. So he's just kind of talking to Florence and being like, why did you just bring this up out of nowhere? You should have talked to me about it first. I don't know what to do, and I don't know what would be good. And so they're just kind of chilling over here by the bubble blower. We haven't really ever been using the bubble blower, so I'm like, you know what, let's use them. And actually, Richard, who is Sibley's brother, comes over, and Florence is super standoffish to him, but Nicholas does talk to him a little bit, and they actually have amazing compatibility. So I think that Nicholas, because he doesn't know about all the psychic stuff and he doesn't know the truth about Richard and everything, that he is just kind of like, wow, Richard seems like a cool dude. I don't see what the problem is. So he's very unaware of a lot of things that are going on. So he's having kind of these assumptions that he's making about Richard's character just based on their compatibility and that Richard is seemingly a good guy. So there's that. But yes, so Florence has kind of offered this potential out for Sibley out of the household by using her brother, and Nicholas is unsure of if he wants to go that route, if he actually would, because he's like, well, what would Isaac think? What would this happen? What would that happen? And he doesn't really know. He's so conflicted about all of this romantic leaning stuff, and he does have a crush on Sibley, and I think part of him is like, wow, she's really cool, if we got engaged, would we really get married? Would that end up happening? Or is it it's just, what does she think? All this other stuff. And I think that, Nicholas is just really conflicted because he has crushes on two people, and he has more of a relationship with Isaac. They've been through more together. They've already woohooed and all of that. But at the same time, Isaac really isn't seeming to want Nicholas. He just wants to have a fling. He wants to have his fun. He wants to, do whatever he wants. But in the end, he still intends to carry on his line and everything. And so that's really tough for Nicholas to kind of swallow, where he is the type of person who would be willing to give it all up for love, but Isaac is not. And so he's like, well, should I move on from Isaac? I don't know what to do. He had this good conversation with Tobias, and he's really unsure of what would be the answer to all of this, because he doesn't know what he wants, and he doesn't know if this engagement, fake engagement, or whatever it is a good idea either. So I did end up having to stop the this is the next day for me in real life. I had some stuff to do, so I ended up not being able to play through the whole year in one go. So we're back here the next time I could play. So that's why the cut was a little abrupt there. And we are going to have Katerina actually go on her date with Isaac. So, Nicholas had introduced Katerina and Isaac to each other last time, and they had spent a little time together, but Katerina wants to go off and really see what the deal is all on her own. So that is something that they're doing. They're just going to have a little church date here and just come over and have these conversations and everything. And so it's really interesting because it actually seems like, even though she gets a crush on Isaac, and I think that it's not that she has a crush on him, it's that she has a crush on his status and everything. She is really feeling like, well, a marquee is still a pretty good deal and all of that stuff. And so she's actually feeling kind of uncomfortable in a way because he actually gets embarrassed. She gets embarrassed. The conversation isn't going super well at first. Like, yes, they are able to flirt with each other and successfully flirt and be like cute and everything. And he keeps wanting to extend the date and have a good time. But at the same time, a lot of their interactions are failing as well. So it's really a conflicting thing where it seems like they're actually not very compatible. That they're just, and maybe Isaac is gay. Maybe he's gay and he is just finding a woman to do his duty and everything. But, and maybe that's why it's a little awkward. Also, he's unflirty, so that doesn't really help. But he never had any problems with Nicholas. Him and Nicholas never had any problems despite him being unflirty. So the fact that he is having problems with Katerina kind of makes me lean towards the fact that he's not really into women, but he is doing this as a way to fulfill his societal obligations. He doesn't have the backing of, a family to protect him from some of those consequences. And also, I'm pretty sure, isn't he like alone? Like, hold on, I gotta check the family tree. Like, who is his family? Who is your family, Isaac? Yeah, I think Isaac. Yeah, Isaac is totally alone. Everyone else in his family is dead, and so that is a tough thing to deal with. So he doesn't really have that security that Nicholas has in this case. So anyway, Lawrence is going to show up at our house, and Gabriel is like, "What are you doing here? Like, why are you showing your face here?" And Lawrence is like, "I'm out of money again. Like, I lost my title, I lost my income, I lost my engagement, I lost everything. Like, can you please help me out? We're family, come on." And Gabriel is just not having it. Like, yes, Gabriel loves his family a lot, but he sees that Lawrence has betrayed his people that he's supposed to take care of. He's betrayed his fiance. He's betrayed Gabriel by taking his money and squandering it. And so Gabriel is just not into it. He's like, "Look, you turned your back on us first and you betrayed us first. And just because you're my nephew does not mean that I am going to give you more money, that I'm going to continue to support you through some of these things." And here's the thing is, like, would Gabriel support one of his children through bad behavior? Probably. But he kind of, took Lawrence under his wing after, everyone died and the sweating sickness and everything. And so he was feeling very fresh and very vulnerable at that time. But now that a lot of time has passed, he's feeling a little stronger. He's feeling kind of like, you know, Lawrence isn't one of his children. Lawrence is a relative that he was helping out and who stabbed him in the back, and he does not appreciate that. And so he doesn't have as much, give or as much, softness in him towards that behavior. So he's not happy, and he's turning Lawrence away and being like, "Deal with your own stuff." So Anne has aged up. Anne Light has aged up into a young adult. Tobias Larkin passed away, unfortunately. We did get a nice moment with him before he died, which was really sweet. But Casper Albert died as well, so he was living his best life far away from all of the problems. Anchor Whitehead then also became a child and joined the club. So that is all the birthdays for this year. That is everything that went on this year. We are moving on to next year, in which we have Gabriel's birthday. Very scary stuff. Let me tell you, adult part 2 role for Gabriel next year. Lots of things could be changing. We'll have to see where it goes. I hope that you guys enjoyed this part, and I'll catch you in the next one.